What's up, guys? Free NBA Daily Bets, the podcast, the YouTube show. My name is Eric. You can find all of my official plays, all the bets that I place my own personal money on at Twitter at Easy Money Wins. All right, so follow all my official plays there. I have a lot of leans. I have a lot of first initial reactions on this podcast. But, when I actually bet, as soon as I place the bet on the sportsbook, I post it on Twitter and do a little write-up there as well. So follow me there, guys. Today was, I'll say tonight. Tonight, because it is tonight. It's almost like 11:30 on the East Coast. And it was a 5-unit day for me. No complaints. It felt like it should have been a clean sweep, but the Sixers fell short at the end, and then the Thunder fizzled out with scoring, which was really annoying. But such is life, such is sports betting. We have 12 NBA games to break down. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. All right, first game up, we have the Los Angeles Lakers at the Sacramento Kings. Now, these two teams played on, 2 days ago. So even though it's 11:30 on the East Coast, I'll just talk as if today is Saturday. And let's see here. Okay, so injury report for the Lakers. So the Lakers beat the Kings 2 days ago, and it was pretty surprising to me. I had a lot of money on the Sacramento Kings that night, and the Kings did not come through for me, which is really, really frustrating. But anyway, so that's kind of like the context. Injury-wise, we got Rui Hachimura, probable. Anthony Davis is questionable with his elbow that he hurt last game. And then LeBron James is questionable with his left foot injury management. So LeBron's been playing with questionable designations. Anthony Davis has been probable of late. So I don't know if Anthony Davis is going to play per se tomorrow. I don't know. After this game, the next game is Monday at home against Detroit. So, no look ahead. And then after the Monday game, they do play Christmas Day at Golden State. So, but then after that, then they come home for like a four-game homestand. So they're not leaving the state of California until the new year. So, nothing huge for the Lakers here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Sacramento. Their injuries, what's going on there? Let's see, Keegan Murray is listed as questionable, but he played last game and he was questionable. He's had 2 days off or 1 day off. I think he's going to play. Everybody else looks good to go. Even maybe Trey Lyles might play too, so we'll see. Now the Kings have been kind of a mystery to me, guys. And I'm gonna have to dig for some quotes to see like what the heck is going on with this team, because they had that losing stretch and then they finally snapped it when they won 3 out of their last 4 before these last 2 games where they lost. And they lost to Denver by 1, and they really shouldn't have lost that game. They were up 8 with like 2 minutes to go or something like that, or 3 minutes to go, and they squandered that game against Denver at home. And then they had 2 days off playing a Lakers team who was just fat and happy off of a nice win against Memphis, and they didn't take advantage of the opportunity. They looked awful. So I'm going to do some more digging. They do play Sunday at home. So they do play tomorrow. This is the first of a back-to-back for them. They play the Pacers. I don't love that spot, but I'm telling you this right now, guys, as the Eastern Conference team, this is a Western Conference team. They already lost to Los Angeles twice this year. They're going to play. They're going to play probably unbelievable tomorrow, and I will be betting the Sacramento Kings tomorrow. I hate to say it. It hurts, guys. It's like one of the hardest things to do in sports betting when like a team's lost you money. Like, especially two games in a row with the Kings to, like, back them again. But I'm telling you right now, the Kings are probably going to win and cover. I'm going to bet them first quarter, first half, full game. It's going to win, guys. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. We're going to win money with the Sacramento Kings today. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Okay, next game up. We have the Miami Heat. Oh, sorry. The line. Sorry. The line for the Kings is minus 5.5 right now. I do suggest betting that sooner than later, just because, just on the off chance that Anthony Davis is ruled out. I mean, this line will probably jump up to like minus 6.5, maybe even minus 7. So I would bet the Kings sooner than later. The spread is, the total is 227, so they're expecting a little more points this game. I would lean over. Lakers are trying to pride themselves on defense right now. I mean, obviously, if Anthony Davis doesn't play, I would lean under, or Lakers team total under would probably be a really nice play too. So, all right, next game up, guys. Next game up, we got the Miami Heat at the Orlando Magic. And let's see. Let's go to yesterday's games because the Heat lost to the Thunder. Let's check the minutes logged. So Jimmy Butler left this game with an illness. I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to play today. I mean, he might, but I mean, he had to leave the game today, so I don't know. It's crazy, guys. I don't know what's going on with that NBA illness. I mean, I talk about it on this podcast all the time, but man, it's been going around for like a month and a half now. Like all these NBA players are just getting sick, and like they try to play through it, and they literally can't play through it. Like, I have no idea what's going on with it, guys. So, I mean, prayers out to all y'all if you guys are sick. Like, sorry, being sick sucks. All right. So Bam Adebayo played 36 minutes. Tyler Hero played 36 minutes. Duncan Robinson 31 minutes. Drew Smith, Jaime Jaquez Jr. 30 minutes each. So nothing too crazy. I mean, yeah, Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero 36, but they're kind of, I don't know. They've been playing back to backs with like heavy minutes, and this is only traveling to Orlando. It's not a long travel spot for them, so it's really not that big of an advantage for Orlando. I would say. Now let's check the schedule. I mean, we'll see the. I mean, if you like Miami, you're gonna want to wait to see who plays for them, right? If you like Orlando, you probably want to bet it now. They're at home Monday against Brooklyn, so no look ahead spot for them. They're off two losses though, so they've lost 2 games in a row. They've only lost 3 games in a row once this season, but with no Jimmy Butler and potentially. Bam Adebayo also left the game early and then came back, so I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow either, guys. So I don't know. I don't know. Now for Orlando, let's check them out. They've lost 3 games in a row. They've actually covered 2 out of the last 3, which is crazy that they covered that game against Oklahoma City. They really should not have covered that game at all. They're in the middle of a homestand right now. They play Boston at home on Monday, and then they play the same Miami Heat again next Thursday. They play the Heat again next Thursday, December 26th. Okay. So they're in the midst of like a 6-7 game homestand. So, all right, so this is the 3rd game of a homestand for them. Let's check the injury report out for the Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs is questionable. Gary Harris is out. And Jalen Suggs is probable. He's probable. Gary Harris is questionable. Okay, yeah, sorry guys. ESPN doesn't update their things. So with all this said, so Orlando's lost 3 in a row. They play Boston. I mean, it's just with Orlando, right? I mean, they just have all those injuries, or not really all those. They don't have a ton of injuries. It's just their 2 best players, right? 2 best offensive players. So, they're actually -1 point favorites against the Heat. -2 point favorites. Wow, -2.5. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. I do not trust Orlando right now to win a game against good opponents, and Miami's a good opponent. Let's see. These 2 teams had to play already this year. Let me see if they played already this year. The opening night, the Heat lost to Orlando 116-97. So just already for like playoff seeding and tiebreaker implications, this game is somewhat important for Miami for sure because they don't want to fall behind 2-0 because these teams play 4 times this year. You don't want to fall behind 2-0 in the tiebreaker. You want to try to win 3-1 and win the tiebreaker outright. So this is an important game for Miami for sure. Not to say that it is not important for Orlando either, but I feel like -2.5. I kind of hope Jimmy Butler's ruled out, and then the line goes up to like +4, and then I'm telling you guys, I think the Heat are the play here. Let me just check the against the spread rankings right now. I mean record. So Orlando's 16-12 against the spread, and the Heat, Miami is 11-14 against the spread. So nothing too crazy, staggering. But I mean, I do lean Miami to cover, and I told myself when Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero, when they're both out right now, during this stretch when they're both not playing, I'm looking to fade Orlando. I'm not looking for them to cover many point spreads here. So I think the short price with Miami, like I know it's a back-to-back, but it's not bad travel, and they're coming off 2 losses. I know Orlando's coming off 3 losses, but I just think Miami's the better team, guys. In this situation, in this spot, as long as everybody plays. So over under is at 209 and 208.5. I do like that under. I might get there under. Might just get there with Orlando team total under. That might be a good bet too. Okay, next game up, we have the Memphis Grizzlies at the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think Ja Morant's going to play. Let's take a look, guys. All right, Marcus Smart and Ja Morant are... So Marcus Smart is questionable. Ja Morant is doubtful with a back injury. I know he ran into a camera guy or something 2 games ago against the Lakers, and I was surprised he played against the Warriors, honestly, but he did. He suited up. He hates the Warriors. Of course, he suited up for that game and wants to sit out against the Hawks. So let's see. They play Monday at home against LA against the Clippers. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games. So with no Ja Morant, him being doubtful, let's see Atlanta. Let's see what's going on with their injury report. Trae Young is the only one on there. Okongwu. Okongwu is going to miss the game. Trae Young is questionable with a heel, so he's questionable. I know he's been playing, but he's been more probable designation of late. So, I mean, if Trae Young doesn't play, I definitely love Memphis here. Atlanta's lost 2 in a row, 3 out of their last 4 after they had won 6 games in a row. And they lost in overtime last game to the Spurs. They played Monday, so no back-to-back for them. I like Atlanta in the spot, guys. I want Trae Young in there. Oh, man, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. So this is some advice that I have for you guys. When you see this line like this, so Ja Morant's basically doubtful, and I'm going to look at the line right here, and Atlanta's an underdog of plus 2.5. The only reason I think that this plus 2.5 right now is because Trae Young is probably not going to play. That's the only reason I can think of why Atlanta at home is underdogs right now. That's the only reason. I mean, because the Hawks, they're not playing poorly, even though they've lost 3 out of their last 4. Their loss against Denver, they were sleepwalking, looking ahead to the NBA Cup knockout round against New York. They love playing New York. Trae Young loves playing at Madison Square Garden. They beat them. Then they lost to a very, very good Bucks team in the NBA Cup semifinals in Las Vegas. And then they lost to a hungry Spurs team in overtime, and they fought their asses off and really played well. That's a tough place to go on the road, especially just given all the circumstances. So I don't, even though the Hawks have lost 3 out of the last 4, I don't think they're in awful form right now. I don't. Obviously the Grizzlies are really good, and they're a really good team even without Ja Morant. But Atlanta at home, that's gonna be a good game, guys. Man, I'm sorry. I gotta write that down, guys. I gotta write that down. Let me write that down real quick. Because I'm telling you, that is crazy. Atlanta first half, full game, full spread. Take them on the money line, guys. Plus money. That's crazy to me. All right, let me put the Kings down there. Put the Heat as a question mark. All right, what's that over-under for Atlanta and Memphis? This is probably crazy high. Oh, no, it's only 239. It's only 239. I like that over. I like that over 239, even if Ja Morant doesn't play. Now, obviously, Trae Young doesn't play. I like that under. If Trae Young doesn't play, guys, I will be betting Memphis for sure. I don't even care if that line goes up to -4, -5. Trae Young out, guys. So I bet against Milwaukee yesterday with the Cavs, and with Damian Lillard out, some teams, when they don't have their facilitator out there, their point guard, and they have no reserve point guard that can do anything to keep the run and offense, those teams are screwed. They're literally screwed. Now, I know this Atlanta Hawks team beat the Boston Celtics without Trae Young, but I don't know. I just think that's an anomaly, guys. I really do. Their backup point guard is Vit Krejci, Keaton Wallace, like Garrison Matthews. Like, no, I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, let's hope and pray Trae Young plays. Let's hope and pray he plays and Ja Morant stays out, and then we're gonna have an amazing betting opportunity with the Atlanta Hawks. All right, next game. Next game up. Next game up. Got the Utah Jazz at the Brooklyn Nets. Let's take a look here. The Jazz blew. Oh gosh, guys, I wanted to bet the freaking Jazz team total or just the game over against the Pistons last game, and I said, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to get with the Jazz. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm going to lay off. I'm not going to bet it. And then they freaking put up like 50 points in the first quarter almost. They put up like 46 points in the first quarter against the Pistons. So this is the pattern, guys. And like what we know with the Jazz is that when they get blown out the game prior, they come out and they fight hard. Okay, so they lost to Sacramento. They gave up 141 points. The next game against Phoenix at home, they played really, really hard against Phoenix. They covered the first quarter in the first half, and they, I think they covered the first quarter, first half. I forget. Anyways, they played really, really tough, guys. They did lose by 8, but that game was closer than the final score. Then the next game, they get blown out by the Clippers, 144-107. What happened? They come back and they fight again at Detroit, okay? So, and then even at Oklahoma City on Tuesday, December 3rd, they lost 133-106. What happened the next game? They put up 140 points against Portland and won that game. So whenever Utah gets blown out, this is a team that still has some fight in them, okay? So that's something to keep in our memory bank moving forward. This team is going to fight for us, okay? So, and what's beautiful is that we're probably going to get large point spreads with them, okay? So we have some good betting opportunities with the Jazz here, all right? Moving forward, hopefully. All right, let's take a look at the injury report. Keontae George is on there. Keontae George had a really nice poster dunk on, gosh, was it Jalen Duren against the Pistons? He's listed as questionable with a sprained ankle. I take notice of that stuff for the Jazz just because usually when people are questionable, I feel like they don't play. And I feel like they're fine with resting players and just like if they can get away with it, they'll sit anybody they want, right? Like, I mean, I can't remember the last time. I can't count on one hand how many times the Jazz have been fully healthy this year with all their best players, right? So, okay, let's take a look. They're off a good win. Their next game they play is Monday against the Cleveland Cavaliers at Cleveland. So they're on the midst of a 4-game East Coast road trip or something like that. All right, for the Brooklyn Nets, they had a really good showing against the Raptors and won that game. And I wanted to bet them that game too, guys. Like, man, 2 nights ago was so freaking frustrating. I'm still not over that. And it's like as a sports bettor, as a profitable, like really good sports bettor, you have to come back to like leave the past in the past. Well, I guess it's just because I'm reliving it right now because like these teams played 2 days ago and like now I'm like remembering it, so it's like bringing up PTSD. Anyways, I'm good, guys. We're gonna win money today. It's gonna be amazing. Let's keep to it. All right. For the Nets, Cam Thomas is still out. Zaire Williams is still out. Trendon Watford is out. So that's it for them. Everybody else is good. And guys, I've said this on the podcast a lot. The Brooklyn Nets backups fight hard. Like, they're not afraid of the moment. Whatever Jordi Fernandez is telling them, like, it's working. Like, this is a team that plays very confidently amidst the trade rumors, right? Because Cam Johnson's going to get dealt. Dorian Finney-Smith is going to get dealt eventually, and then Nick Claxton too. But this team is still playing freaking hard. This team is still playing really hard, guys. So let's take a look at their schedule situation. They play at Miami on Monday, so no huge like bad situation for them either. So let's take a look at the line. Let's see what the line is. -2 for the Nets. Over under is 220. Man. And sorry, guys, I haven't looked at any of these lines yet. So these are like my initial reactions to all this stuff. And, man, so it's going to come down to this. It's going to come down to, can the Nets play good enough defense to keep the Jazz down? Because the Jazz can score better than the Nets can, right? Like, and like a shooting contest, like the Jazz are going to win this. But Nets at home, they play really good defense. But taking them just to win, the Jazz are kind of playing a little bit more competitively, a little bit of momentum. It's a tough spot, guys. I lean the Jazz +2. I think the Jazz win this game. I do think they're the better team right now, even though I just kind of like talked up the Brooklyn Nets. But I don't know. The Nets have grit. I'm probably gonna stay off this game, guys. I don't know. I got to sleep on this one for sure. Over under 220.5. I lean under. I think that's too high for Brooklyn Nets games. I know the Jazz don't play like great defense, but I think the Nets like really slow the pace down and try not to get into a shooting contest with the Jazz. So, okay, next game. Let's keep it going, guys. All right, next game up. The New York Knicks off an amazing win at Minnesota. Not amazing for me because I had Minnesota. That was the part of the disaster 2 nights ago for me. But congratulations to Cat getting his revenge against his former team that traded him. I have no idea why Minnesota traded him for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Like that's going to go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history. Not NBA history, but of like the last decade. They play New Orleans. They're at New Orleans. And they play at home against Toronto on Monday. I don't think these two teams have played. Oh, yeah, they did. So New York smoked them at home, 118-85 on December 1st. So let's take a look at the injury report for the Knicks. They look healthy. Everybody's good to go. Good for them. All right, let's take a look at this trash-ass New Orleans Pelicans team. Let's see what's going on with them. They're in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. They just got their asses kicked by Houston at Houston when Houston was playing slow, grinded out games, and Houston just said, like, F it, let's just score 133 points tonight. Go figure. After, like, the last 5 games, they were barely scratching 100 points, even scratching 95 points. So the Pelicans play Denver at home on Sunday, so this is the first of a back-to-back for them. Let's take a look at their crazy injury report. So it looks like everyone's good to go. Daniel Tice is the only one on there. Well, sorry, when I mean that, I mean everyone that has been playing. There's still no Brandon Ingram. There's still no Zion Williamson. But everybody else is good, except for Daniel Tice. Let's see what's going on with Daniel Tice. He is questionable with the personal designation, so I doubt he's going to play. I mean, these guys popping up with personal designations, either it's the death in the family or they're giving birth to a kid, like, probably not going to play. It's not like Daniel Tice moves the needle, though, for me. So let's take a look at the point spread. +8.5 for the Pellies. And, man, guys, I want to bet the Pelicans again, and I want to make it like a 4-unit play. Y'all probably think I'm crazy for betting the Pelicans, like, as much as I do, but I don't trust the Knicks after a huge, satisfying win. And just look at this, guys. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. So if we go back and look at their big wins this season, so look what happened. Second game of the season, they beat Indiana, the team that they lost to in Game 7 of last year. It doesn't get any more satisfying than this, guys. Does not get any more satisfying than that. They won by like 25 points. Next game, they lose to Cleveland by 6. I know Cleveland's a good team, but still, they lost. Let's look at another big win they had. Okay, yeah, they beat Milwaukee at home, 116-94. They won by 22 points. What happened? They lose to Indiana the next game, and it wasn't even a back-to-back. All right, let's look at another big win for them. They won at Phoenix, 138-122. What happened? They lost at Utah the next game, 121-106. All right, then look at this. Then they put up 145 points against Denver. What happened? They lose the next game at Dallas, 129-114. So this is what I'm saying, guys. They just had a huge win, guys, for their new teammate, Karl-Anthony Towns, 133-107, smoked the Timberwolves. Like, I think this is as flat spot as it gets. And then I also said, guys, Like there's 4 different chapters in the NBA season for me at least. The first is the NBA Cup part of the season. The next is the dog days of summer. Dog days of winter for the NBA. Like we're in the dog days of the NBA. You just saw it with Boston the other day. Like these teams are not interested every game right now, guys. It's not until post All-Star break where these teams are like, oh crap, we're only the 6th seed. We need to try to get to the 2nd seed or the 1st seed. Like, oh, we're underachieving. Like, oh, we really need to pick it up. Like this is like game, 35 out of 82? Like, there's 82 games. Like, you're not going to get up for every single freaking game. Like, they're at New Orleans. They already whooped their ass before. I'm telling you guys, this is as flat spot as it gets in the NBA. As flat as it gets. And they play on Christmas Day on Wednesday, the 25th at home. So, like, I'm telling you, I will be on the Pelicans tomorrow. I hate to say it. I will. I don't get emotional over these teams, guys. I like to win money betting the NBA, and that's what plus 8.5 is giving us, in my opinion. All right, over under 225. I like the over. I do, because I don't think the Knicks are going to be that serious. The Knicks can score with the best of them. The Pelicans are going to give a really, really, really good effort at home. I could easily see like a 114, 110 game. Well, shoot, that'd be under. I could see 117, 112, 115, 112, like somewhere around there. I lean over, guys. Lean over with that one. Okay, next game we got my sorry ass Warriors. My sorry ass Warriors, man. Started the season like freaking 12-3. They're at Minnesota. The two trash ass teams that have winning records somehow. Both 14-12. Let's just take a look. I haven't looked at the standings in a while. Let's just take a look. I usually don't look at the standings that often early in the season. These teams are 8th and 10th in the West right now at 14-12. Man, West is just... It's crazy, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder are first place at 22-5. Like they're in control of their destiny. I mean, it's still early, still very early, but to only have 5 losses, like they're just such a good team, and like they're young and they're motivated, and I think that's really what it is that they haven't proven anything, so they need to keep proving themselves. So, yeah. All right, let's see here, guys. Golden State. Let's take a look. They have lost 3 in a row. They have lost like 10 out of their last 12 games. They literally just played Minnesota on Friday, December 6th, and Sunday, December 8th. They split those 2 games. 1-1, lost 1. And I mean, it doesn't get more worse than this, guys. They've given up 143 and 144 points the last 2 games. And I bet the under against the Memphis, and I cashed that barely by 1 point. But I should have bet Memphis. And my whole premise on betting the under was that with Dennis Schroeder now coming into the fold, like with his first game, like they're going to be out of sync. And I still think that they're going to be out of sync a little bit. So let's take a look at the injury designation. They play Monday at home against Indiana. And then they're basically home for like until January 9th, essentially. They play 1 game against the Clippers at LA. But other than that, they're home. So this is their last road game. And then they go home. And then I'm telling you, that's going to be the time to bet the Warriors, guys, because Schroeder will have a couple games under his belt with them. They're going to start winning games at home. Trust me, guys. Trust me. I'm not just saying that because they're my team. I'm saying this happens with all these teams. Okay. They're healthy, except for Moses Moody. I don't think he's going to play, but if he plays or doesn't, it doesn't change my opinion of the game whatsoever. I love Moses Moody. I think he's a really good player. I think he deserves more minutes, but sorry, Moses. You do not affect the point spread, my brother. All right. Schedule for Minnesota. They've lost 1 game, but they've won 6 out of their last 8 games. Now, Anthony Edwards came out after the New York Knicks game, the last game where they lost and it got smoked, talking about the offense, and he said, everyone knows what the heck we're going to do. He said more profane language than what I'm using. But basically he said, like, he knows opposing teams know that he's going to shoot a lot of shots and that Julius Randle's going to shoot a lot of shots. Other than that, there's really no answer. And they said, like, no one's going to want to hear my opinion on it anyway. So He's very outspoken in general. So, but still, that's telling for this game for like the under. I haven't looked at the total yet, but I'm telling you right now, I am looking at the under, and I'm hoping that we get like 215 or something, or like even a little bit higher than that, because I know Golden State's going to be preaching defense, and I know Minnesota, after giving up 133 points, they are going to be preaching defense, and these games literally basically went under. I think they both went under the last 2 times they played. No, that second game might have gone over. But let's take a look at the injury report for the Wolves, for the Timberwolves, and they're all healthy too, guys. They're all healthy too. So let's take a look at this point spread. Let's see what it's at. I'm curious here. So they got the Timberwolves at -4. Ah, man, this is such a weird spot. The over-under is not crazy, guys. I said 215. It's 216. The over-under is 216. Curry's coming off. See, there's just so much like conflicting things that like I want to bet on both of these teams. Because Curry didn't score a single point last game. Or he only scored 2 points, something like that. Like Draymond Green played awful. Like the Warriors have pride. They're gonna come out. They're gonna play freaking hard. But the Timberwolves have pride. They're gonna come out. They're gonna play freaking hard. So the line's at -4, -4.5. With all that said, let me take a look at Minnesota's schedule real quick, guys. Let me take a look here. So they beat San Antonio, they beat Los Angeles, they beat Golden State, they beat the Clippers, but the Clippers were on a back-to-back, second night of back-to-back. They beat the Lakers, they were on a second night of back-to-back. Before that, they lost 4 in a row, but they played freaking hard. I really think the Wolves win this game. Like I said, I still don't think it's time to bet the Warriors, especially with Dennis Schroeder's like second game. The Warriors are going to play freaking hard. They are, but I think they're just running into a really bad spot against the Timberwolves right now. I think the next game when they play at home against Indiana, I think that will be the spot to bet the Warriors. That will be the spot, guys. That will be the spot. All right, let's keep it moving. And if you're hearing it now and you're still listening to this point, like please drop a like on the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram at Easy Money Wins. Follow me there. I post some like cool videos of like my plays there and stuff. So yeah, just support. Drop a comment on my just all my social media, guys. Like I'm doing this for free. I'm giving out free winners. Year to date, I'm plus 17 units. So the $100 better would be at $1,700. So. It's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Free winning information. All right, next game. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Philly played tonight. And Paul George says that Nick Nurse, the head coach of the 76ers, said that Paul George is slated to play today, even though he played yesterday. Let's check the minutes logged for Philadelphia. Oh, man, it was a classic, like, they were doing just enough to beat the Hornets, and they were not looking to blow them out. Frustrating for me, because I had Philadelphia -12.5, but such is life. So Paul George played 39 freaking minutes, and they're really going to play him? Okay. I doubt Paul George plays more than 35 minutes against the Cavaliers today. I doubt that. Tyrese Maxey played 38 minutes. Kelly Oubre Jr. played 39 minutes. Joel Embiid played 31. Who knows if Joel Embiid is going to play, guys? They probably sit him out on the second night of back-to-backs, which is just like, it's just so soft. It's so soft. You play 30 minutes and you can't suit up for another 30 minutes the next day. Like, it's literally a half an hour. And, like, this guy doesn't sprint up and down the court either. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right. Yeah, other than that, everyone didn't play that much, but still, Paul George, Maxey, and Oubre, 39 minutes. Maxey's young. Kelly Oubre is relatively young too. Like it's not that big, but I don't know, guys. I'm not in love with that. And then for Cleveland, they usually play everybody on back-to-backs normally, and they smoked Milwaukee tonight as well. Let's see how many minutes they played. And they're just doing their thing, guys. They're just smoking teams still. They're just smoking teams. So, no one played 30 minutes. Nobody played 30 minutes. Nobody did. Cleveland's rested. They're ready to go. No one played over 27 minutes. Donovan Mitchell played 27 minutes. Evan Mobley, 27 minutes. Everybody else was 25 minutes or less. Like, I mean, and they're at home. They don't have any travel. So they literally just came in, got some shots up, ran up and down the court, sat on the bench. They're home right now. They can go to sleep, get some great sleep, and then play Philadelphia, who's traveling. It's not bad travel. I mean, Philly to Cleveland's really not a bad plane flight at all. But still, it's just a little bit something you have to do. So let's take a look at the spread. It's minus 12. Minus 12.5. Paul George and Maxey. Good to go. I'm telling you right now, I'm loving this over right now. 217.5. Both these teams played today. I mean, yesterday. Both of these teams played yesterday. Like, I'm not expecting a lick of defense tomorrow from either of these two teams. Both off of like really good wins for them. Like, I'm not expecting a lick of defense. So it's just like, is Philly gonna get enough points here? Like, is Paul George gonna play enough minutes to get over this total? Because let me take a look at the over/under totals for both of these teams. Cleveland's 18-10 to the over. Wow. But Philly is 11-13 to the under. So one's an under team, one's an over team. I like the over here a lot, guys. I really do. I think both of these teams get after it and put up some points. I don't think defense is really going to be there. 217's pretty good price there. You get 110 to 108 final score that goes over. Cavaliers score 115 in their sleep. I mean, let's just take a look at the last time the Cavaliers only scored 110 points. Like, so you're telling me we only need Cleveland to get to 115 and Philly to like 105? Scored 124, 130, 115, 113, but that was on the road. 126, 118. Let's just look at home. At home, they have scored over 115 points in every single game except for one. And that was against the Brooklyn Nets. That was the second night of a back-to-back. That's interesting. But Brooklyn plays at a super slow pace. And then Philadelphia, like, them on the road, I mean, we already know they're kind of a little undisciplined, right? Like, I love that. I love that to go over. Even though Cleveland's a heavy over team right now at 64%, I still think there's line value at that 217 number there. Now for the spread, I lean Philadelphia. I do. Cleveland is a ridiculous 20-8 against the spread, 71%. Like, that's not sustainable. I'm telling you right now, guys, the Boston tax is real. Like, Boston being minus 15-point favorites, like, that's ridiculous against the Bulls the other night. Cleveland being minus 12-point favorites, I think, is a little ridiculous. Even with the whole travel situation and back-to-back for Philly, I still really, really like the 76ers. 76ers are 10-15 against the spread, so they're only covering 40% of the time. So this is a clear, like, hey, one team is due for some progression and one team is due for regression, and they're both like very far. Kind of almost outliers, especially the Cavaliers. Like, so to put this in perspective, if this is your first time listening, at the end of the season, the top team against the spread will probably be around 60%. Okay, so Cleveland's at 71%. This is the time to start looking for spots to fade Cleveland. Tonight was not. I mean, yesterday was not the spot time to fade Cleveland against Milwaukee coming off their big win. But Cleveland's second night of a back-to-back. Sorry guys, I don't want to go too long on this game, but let's just take a look, because I'm telling you, this might be a really, really good spot to bet the 76ers tomorrow potentially here, or at least bet their team total over, because you're going to get a ton of value on that, because it's only going to be like 103.5 or something like that. Let's see how they've done on back-to-backs this year. So they played this Cavaliers team on a back-to-back. They played them on Wednesday, November 13th at home, and they lost 114-106. So that went over. That was 220 total points there. So that went over, and that was with Jared McCain being their leading point scorer. Like, and Paul George didn't even play that game. Okay, so now let's take a look at their next back-to-back game. Okay, they played Orlando. Orlando's a really slow-paced team, though, guys. It was only 106, 102, and they lost. Let's take a look if they played any other back-to-back. I don't see any other back-to-back. So, all right, so they already played this Cavaliers team on a back-to-back, and it went over. So I love that over. I really do, and I'm probably going to get their full game plus 12 with the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, guys, next game up. We've got the sorry-ass Washington Wizards. Off of a win, though. Let's give them a little credit. They did beat the Hornets, the shorthanded Hornets. They won 123-114, but they're on the road here. They're playing Milwaukee. They just played Milwaukee on November 30th, Saturday, November 30th. And I believe that, they lost by 10, but I believe that let's click that game. I think they were winning at halftime. No, they were only losing by 5 at halftime. So they won the first quarter, only losing by 5 at halftime. So, Milwaukee was sleepwalking. Milwaukee is off a bad loss, though. Dame Lillard did not play yesterday, so I think he's gonna play today. I mean, he played the whole NBA Cup game. It didn't look like he was hurt there. I just think they kept him out of this game because he might have been a little sore and they didn't want to risk it with the back-to-back. I find it a little bit interesting, though, because you want to rest him on a back-to-back. Like, rest him against the Wizards, not the Cavs. So maybe Dame doesn't play, guys. Maybe Dame doesn't play after all today. I mean, we'll have to see how that goes, right? Let's check the minutes logged for the Bucks, and they play at Chicago on Monday, so nothing too crazy. Let me see where the Wizards play at OKC on Monday, so no back-to-back for them either. Okay, minutes logged for Milwaukee. Giannis played 30. Everybody else played 25 minutes or less. So I would expect everybody to play. I don't know about Chris Middleton. He might not play. He only played 19 minutes, but I mean, he's still they're really taking it easy with his injury. I don't know if he'll play. It's not a long plane flight from Cleveland to Milwaukee, so it's not like awful travel, even though it's back to back for them. Let's take a look at the Wizards injury report. So I mean, I want to see if Dame Lillard's going to play, and he'll be fresh, guys. He'll probably play 38 minutes if he does play. Washington's good. Only Kyle Kuzma's out. Everyone else looks like they're going to play. So let's see how the Wizards have done after they win. Not that it really matters, but they beat Atlanta twice. That's right. But then they got smoked by Miami after that. They got smoked by Memphis. That was the second out of a back-to-back, though. Well, but it was for Memphis too. So obviously they don't do well, win or lose. The spread is plus 12. So see, guys, so this is crazy, right? This is crazy, okay? This is what I'm talking about, the Cavaliers. There's a huge inflation of the line right now, in my opinion. The Bucks and the Cavaliers, in my opinion, are very similar in the quality of team that they are. The Wizards and the 76ers are not, obviously, right? The 76ers are way better than the Wizards. So almost identical game. Cavaliers on a back-to-back, Bucks on a back-to-back. It's the same point spread, but the Bucks are playing the Wizards, and the Cavs are playing the 76ers. That's what I'm saying, guys. There's a ton of value, in my opinion, on the 76ers plus 12, because, these two games should not have the same point spread, in my opinion. Okay, total is at 227.5. I lean over. I think the Bucks give a really, really good effort here. Coming off of the loss, they're not going to respect the Wizards. But the Wizards, I think they put up somewhat of a fight. It's hard to tell with the Wizards, but I do lean over. I don't expect a ton of defense to be played by either team per se. I mean, the Bucks might, but the Wizards play so bad defense, and the Bucks just score and run it up easy points. then the Wizards they'll get dragged along with that, and they'll score points too, and the Bucks won't care to play defense either. So I can only look over 227 there. And for the spread, I need to see if Dame Lillard plays, guys, because I looked last year. They lost like every game, I think, without Damian Lillard last year, including the playoffs. And then this season, they won 2 games, but one was barely in overtime against the Pistons, and the Pistons were on a back-to-back on that game as well. And then the other game was against the Raptors, and the Raptors are awful. That's when the Raptors had even more injuries than they have now. But other than that, they lose. They lose without Damian Lillard, and they look awful. And they don't score a lot of points. So I need to see what's going on with Dame. Okay, next game up. We go to... Oh, this is a good game, guys. This is a good game. I love this game. We got the Boston Celtics at the Chicago Bulls. Boston got upset by Chicago. Last game in Boston, they lost. These two teams played 2 nights ago. And Joe Mazzulla, the head coach for Boston, was also upset. He was like cursing at the refs after the game. He also got a technical in the fourth quarter. Him and Jaylen Brown got a technical. So, they're going to be motivated to play well in this game. They're going to be motivated for certain. Their next game is at Orlando on Monday, so no back-to-back for them. Let's take a look at the injury report here. Everyone's good to go except for Sam Hauser is... Let me see what's going on with Sam Hauser. Is he questionable? He's questionable. Now, Sam Hauser, I don't think he played last game against the Bulls. So, he might truly be questionable to play in this game with his back injury. I think he gives it a go, though. He's got a day off. He's had a day off. So, we'll see. Chicago has won 3 games in a row. I'm still mad they did not cover that spread against the Raptors. That was crazy. It had a -1, and then Toronto hit a meaningless 3. So, first, Talen Horton-Tucker missed a free throw, and if he just made that free throw, it would have covered. And then, if Toronto didn't shoot a meaningless 3 with 4 seconds left, I still would have covered. I pushed. I moved on, guys. I've moved on. Let's take a look at the injury report. What's going on? Josh Giddey did not play the last game. Other than that, everyone looks good to go again for this game. Dallin Terry and Josh Giddey are on the injury report. Giddey's questionable, and so is Dallin Terry. Now, apparently from Josh Giddey's situation, what I heard is that he really rolled that thing bad, apparently. So there was really no chance of him playing last game from what I heard. So I'm not convinced he's going to play in this game either. Now, they host Milwaukee on Monday, so no back-to-back for them. Let's take a look at the spread. It's -10. -10 for Boston. And over-under is 240. I think this is a game where it goes over. So these two teams played, obviously 2 nights ago, but then they also played in the NBA Cup, I think 3 weeks ago. And this game flew over in Chicago. And I think Boston comes out, if they come out with intensity, they might hold this game under. They might. But Chicago at home? I don't know, guys. That's a little interesting. This is a game where, I don't know. I think the Celtics really bring their frickin' A game. I think they do. I just don't know. The Bulls want to run and gun. That's what they want to do. So, and they won 3 in a row. I do think Boston wins. I don't know if they win and cover. Let's take a look at the against the spread records here for these two teams. Chicago is 14-13. Boston is 10-17. So this is a good thing to know here, guys. And so this is why I look at this stuff periodically, just to see if there's outliers. And Boston being at 37%, that is borderline outlier. At the end of the season, the worst team in the NBA against the spread will be around 37%. But I don't think Boston's going to be the worst team against the spread this year. They are going to have a huge tax on their lines. It's going to be totally inflated. But I expect them to get into the 40% at least. I do. So them being at 37%, Chicago's at 52%. This might be a good spot to like get a against the spread record for Boston, and then this line might even go down. I think it's already going down a little bit right now. I mean, it might get into the single digits for Boston here. So I do like Boston first quarter, first half. Might just take Boston first quarter, first half with their points. That might be a good way to go too. Yeah, I love points in this game, and I like the Celtics to win. I don't know if they cover that number. I lean that way. I do lean that way. I think the Bulls might. I don't know. The Bulls can score so well. You know what? The Bulls might cover that spread again, guys. They even if it gets to 8.5, like they probably cover that spread again. I think the Celtics win, but I think the Bulls are still good enough to really compete hard and keep the game somewhat close. So I can only look to Boston first quarter, first half, in my opinion, or just take Boston points, or just take the full game points, because I think points are going to be scored in this one, guys. Okay, next game up. How many games left we got? We got 3 games left. Let's knock it out, guys. Let's crush it. Let's crush it. All right, we've got the Portland Trailblazers at the San Antonio Spurs. Both teams off good wins here, guys. Both teams. Portland beat Denver. Anthony Simons hit the game winner over Russell Westbrook to snap their 6-game losing streak. They play at Dallas on Monday. They literally just lost to San Antonio by 2 points after they were winning by 20-something freaking points. And this, oh my gosh, this is bringing up so many bad beats for me, guys. Like, I've moved on. I've moved past it. I had the under in that game. It was a dead nuts under. They're only at literally only at 95 total points at halftime. And somehow the game flew over like the 220, 218, whatever it was. It's okay. But anyway, San Antonio came back and barely won that game, 118, 116. They play it all. Oh, yeah, they lost already 118, 105 to San Antonio earlier. Okay, let's take a look at the injury report. Portland is a lot more healthy. All their bigs are back. Robert Williams, Donovan Clingan, the rookie out of UConn, DeAndre Ayton. Everyone's healthy, guys, except for Delano Banton. Let's see what's going on with our boy Delano. He's questionable. So obviously the angle for Portland, they're coming off revenge where they let the team off the hook. Yada, yada, yada. Does it really matter for Portland? Is it a team that's really going to give a great effort here, For the Spurs, they've won 3 out of their last 4 games. Let's see. They play Monday at Philly, so they go on an East Coast road trip after this game, but they have a day off, so it's not like they just fly out after this game. And they're healthy. They're fully healthy, it looks like, on their early injury, midnight injury report. They're healthy, guys. They're healthy. So I can only look Spurs in this spot. They're definitely the better team. It's just, what is that line looking at? It's -6.5. -6.5. I like the Spurs here, guys. Even though the Trailblazers have revenge here, like pretty short revenge within the last week. I don't think it matters. I think the Spurs play really well. I think the Spurs. I mean, look at the standings, guys. The Spurs are pretty much tied for the play-in spot right now. Like, they want to keep winning. They're winning a lot this year. They're 14-13. I like them. I mean, this isn't a team. I mean, let's look at Portland is 9-18. They're winning more, but I like San Antonio first quarter, first half, full game. I don't think it matters that they've beaten Portland twice and Portland's looking to beat them. Is this the final game between them? No, they're in the same division, right? No, they play again on April 6th. Okay. So, let me see Portland's schedule spot real quick. And like I said, they play Dallas, so it's not bad at all. I can only look San Antonio. I can only look them. I mean, it's possible that the Trailblazers cover that. It is. They're playing better, but I think the Spurs are like not messing around. And I was expecting kind of -8 That's what I was thinking the spread was going to be. So over-unders at 227. And so, this might be a good spot. I don't know, guys, because the only thing with the Spurs is that they've been scoring more points than I thought they were going to be scoring. So, and the Trailblazers might not play any defense. I lean under 227 there, guys. I really do. I kind of like that a lot. I'll think about that one. All right, 2 games left. We've got the Clippers at the Mavericks. These 2 teams played 2 nights ago. I had a 5-unit max bet winner on the Clippers. That was the good of 2 nights ago for me. That was because Luka and Kyrie were out. And I was looking at my sports book and refreshing it, and I was like, how is this possible that the Clippers are underdogs with Kyrie and Luka out? And see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. When the point guard is out, like Damian Lillard, he's the one that facilitates that offense. Okay? It's natural. Everything flows smoothly. Same with Trae Young. Everything flows smoothly. Okay, you take Luka out. Okay, you still have Kyrie. You take both of them out. Who's running the offense? Spencer Dinwiddie? I mean, give me a freaking break, guys. Like, seriously, that was ridiculous that the Clippers were underdogs in that game. Ridiculous. All right, let's take a look. Clippers play at Memphis on Monday, so no back-to-back for them. They look healthy, except for Terrence Mann. Everyone looks good to go. Let's take a look at Terrence. He's out for a while, right? And then Kawhi Leonard is working his way back. I think Kawhi Leonard's going to play early January, guys. That's exciting for basketball. People hate on Kawhi too much, man. Like, the guy has had awful injury stuff, you know? Like, it just is what it is. I mean, it's not like he's holding out on purpose. Like, he played almost every single freaking game last year. So, until he hurt his knee right before the playoffs. For Dallas, let's see what their schedule spot. Oh, they play at home against Portland. They're in the middle of the homestand here. Let's see. These 2 teams have played already, right? Or that was the first meeting. Oh, that was the first meeting. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at the injury report for Dallas. Kyrie's off of it. Jaden Hardy, the backup point guard, our third-string point guard, and Luka Doncic. So Luka's out for Saturday. He's out. Okay. Jaden Hardy is out. Brandon Williams, I don't even know who that is out. Dante Exum is out. Okay. So, man, I'm already loving Dallas right now if Kyrie is really, truly in there. So let me take a look at the line. Oh, get the heck out of here. This is crazy. Okay. This is a really good... Oh, no. Okay, so it's not -2. I thought it was. I was getting really excited. It's -4, -3.5. I think that's about right. I don't love that line value. I wish it was a little lower like what it was at -2. Kyrie, when he runs the show, he's really damn good. And I think the Mavericks get the win here, guys. I can only look Mavericks -4. I'm definitely betting them first quarter, first half. That is a given for certain. And over-unders at 220. When Kyrie's in, games go over, guys. Remember that. That's a tidbit right there. Kyrie's in, that ball moves. Everyone gets involved. They play at a little bit faster pace. There's no Luka ISO ball going on. Let's take a look at so what happened with the last game again? See what that total was last game? That stayed under. 118.95. Yeah, that stayed under. Let's see what the over-unders are for these 2 teams. Okay, Dallas is 15-12 to the over, and the Clippers are 11-16 to the under. Wow. So 40% to the under. Well, 60%, but like, yeah, 40% to the over. Man, I like that over a lot. I really like that over a lot. And I like the Mavericks. First quarter, first half, full game. That's a good spot, guys. Man, there's going to be some money to be made. There's going to be some money to be made today. I'm excited, guys. We're going to get back in. Man, I hope it's a freaking monster day. And I really, really do hope it's like a monster day and I'm like back into the 30 units. Man, screw it. Let's win like 30 units tomorrow. Let's get back into the 40 units club. All right, guys. Next game. Last game up. We've got the Detroit Pistons at the Phoenix Suns. Detroit off that embarrassing loss at home to the Utah Jazz. And they really have not been playing well since November 17th. Like, whenever Cade Cunningham got hurt, they haven't been playing that well, obviously, because he's a big part of that team. Like, they've only won 4 games out of their last 7. Out of their last 11. They're 4-7 in their last 11. They're 4-10 out of their last 14 games. So, they're not playing well right now, guys. But in spots, they have been playing well, okay? Now, they play at LA against the Lakers on Monday, December 23rd, so no back-to-back spot for them here. Let's take a look at the injuries. I know Jaden Ivey's missed the last 2 games. Everybody else has been playing for them. Jaden Ivey's probable. Okay, he's probable. That's good. He's probable. Isaiah Stewart's ruled out. Let's take a look at Phoenix. Phoenix just lost to the Pacers, so that's not great for them. And they have, golly, Phoenix has not been playing well. How is Phoenix the 9th seed right now? Like, I'm looking at their schedule, it's just a bunch of L's. It's because they had that winning streak in the early part of the season. That's the only thing holding them together, because they've only won 6 games, guys. They've only won 6 games in their last, 20. They're 6-14. That is awful. Not quite that bad. Sorry, because they only have 14 losses. They're 6 and... It doesn't matter. They've lost 10 games out of their last 15. Okay. They play at Denver on Monday. But, they want to get a win here, guys. This is a team that expects to win. All right, let's take a look at the depth chart. Devin Booker. Ooh, is Devin out? Dang, he's out. Devin Booker's out with a groin. So, it's just Kevin Durant running the show. And the Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, Kevin Durant. Let's take a look at the spread. I'm already telling you guys right now, I want to bet Detroit, but Phoenix is the worst team against the spread in the NBA at 34.6%. That's what I'm saying. This is a team that's we need to look for spots to bet on them moving forward. Because they're not going to finish the season at 34% covering. They might be the worst team in the NBA covering the spread, but I don't think they will be. They just had the Kevin Durant injury. I think that's why they haven't covered a lot recently. Okay, let's take a look at the spread. -7, -6.5. Man, I want to bet both teams, honestly. Hate when that happens. Over-under's 225. I love that over. I don't love it. I really like it. I like that over. Even without Devin Booker. Just the Pistons on the road. They're not going to play as good a defense. Even though they're coming off a really bad loss. I don't know. Both are coming off of a loss. Intensity might be there. I just lean over. I take that back. But first quarter, first half, for sure. Really good line value on the Suns there. It'll be -2, and it'll be -4. First quarter, first half, and I really like the Suns to cover both of those, even without Booker. So that is the podcast, guys. That's the podcast. That's the show. 1 hour and 4 minutes on the dot. Let's have a day, guys. Come on. Let's have a day. Let's get some good units won. Lots of really good betting opportunities. Let's make money.